Sweet Christmas! It's two dads in the multiverse!
I like that.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, welcome
Hi.
to our Marvel Netflix Two Dads in the Multiverse special. I'm Lawrence and as always, here with Aaron.
Hello. So yeah, we're basically gonna just sit and chat about what we feel our opinions are on the Marvel Netflix show. I think this came about mostly...
Obviously there's a reason why.
Well, first off, I think... Let's show the reason why first off,
Okay.
actually, yeah. So here's the trailer if no one has seen it.
For Defenders.
No, let them guess.
You have interrupted a citywide investigation. You stole evidence from my crime scene. And you got my one lead killed.
I was trying to help him.
But you didn't.
Jessica Jones, stop talking.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Matthew Murdoch. I'm your attorney.
How does being Harlem's hero allow you to live an actual life?
Right now, I just want to help people.
I think there's someone that you need to meet.
Hey, what are you doing in there? Who are you? Who are you?
How come you can't be hurt?
What's the deal with that fist?
I'm the immortal Iron Fist.
You what?
You're on the same side.
You four. The devil of Hell's Kitchen. The smart-ass detective.
We got a problem?
The righteous ex-con.
My bad.
And the kid with a glowing fist. The war for New York is here. So get your shit together.
The more connections you have, the easier it will be to break you. You look like an idiot.
It's your scarf. We make quite a team.
No.
What are you talking about? Bulletproof. Blind ninja. Whatever it is you are.
Classy.
So yeah, obviously Marvel and Netflix have been building up to their Defenders series. Also, we wanted to talk about it because of, I think, the flack Iron Fist received,
Yeah, I don't understand why.
given how much we actually enjoyed it. But anyway, mainly though because of Defenders on its way. So well, let's start at the beginning, shall we?
At the beginning we had Daredevil, didn't we? Season 1. Initial thoughts immediately are it's a lot darker than the movies that Marvel have already brought out.
Yeah, a lot grittier,
I like
real, if you will.
I like to think of it that maybe the Netflix universe is where the adults can enjoy a bit of Marvel goodness without Disney fluffing it up and making it all pretty for the kids.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, haven't you? It's for the kids. They've kept it very child friendly, haven't they?
Yeah.
And like you just said, the Netflix show is more for the adult audience. It's darker.
Yeah.
There's obviously swearing, there's sex,
Blood.
there's violence,
Yeah.
extreme violence. So
I mean, one thing that stands out in season 1 of Daredevil is just how often Matt gets his ass kicked.
yeah,
If you want to see broken bones, gore, and a man lying 90% of the time in a dumpster.
I think, can we rewind a little bit because we haven't said the spoilers because people may not have seen this, man.
How many years ago was
I
Daredevil
know,
out? Was
but
it funny?
we should put the disclaimer there. We don't want to
Okay.
be sued.
So, welcome to the Netflix Marvel special.
Spoilers.
Contains spoilers. Anyway, done.
I think in season 1, where it really hits home how dark it's actually going to be, 2 instances. One where Matt has chased down one of the Kingpin's kind of cronies, and he gets the information out of him, and Matey Boy just ends up impaling his head on a spike.
Yeah.
Because it's basically like, that's better than what the Kingpin will basically do to me if he finds out I've grassed him.
Who was the guy that played Kingpin?
I forget his name, but he was bloody awesome.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. He did a lot better job than the dude from the film.
Yeah.
But, we can't speak ill of the dead.
No. But the other scene where Kingpin smashes the guy's head
oh my god,
in the car door.
The thing is, it's just brutal.
Absolutely brutal. And it's almost as if like, I'm going to show you what I'm actually capable of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
it was great. It was wonderful.
You were upset that you didn't see the suit until the final episode.
Yeah, I mean, they based it off of the early comics where he was in the black suit.
Yeah. I think that's
which
brilliant.
Is fine. It's the origins. Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I liked it. I did like it, but I think for me, I was waiting the whole series for him to become Daredevil.
Okay, so imagine how everybody feels dedicating 11 years of their life to watching Smallville.
Yeah.
And then the last 30 seconds of the final ever episode is all you get. At least you've had a season of him in the suit.
I know.
Which I suppose will nicely move on to number 2.
I mean, season 2 for me,
amazing.
Was where I enjoyed season 1 and I stuck with it. Bits of it got a bit annoying. I mean, can I ask your opinion on Foggy? What did you think of Foggy?
I really liked him.
Did you?
Even more so now that I rewatched Hunger Games the other day and realised he's in that.
He is in that. I didn't realise that until I saw that. Yeah. I found him a bit annoying. But
I think he was supposed to be kind of playing the good angel on
Matt's shoulder,
wasn't he? You're not thinking about what you're doing here.
But season 2 though, I think season 2 is where it really amped everything up.
Yeah, with the introduction of the Punisher,
Elektra, both characters who were playing those, or both actors playing those characters, were rightly chosen for their parts. I think.
Yeah. Good casting, very good casting.
Yeah.
Lots of really, really intricate fight scenes in season 2 as well.
Our prison scene for starters.
Oh my god. If you haven't seen the prison scene, obviously spoilers, but here's the clip.
Here's the scene. Yeah.
Open the door. What are you doing? Open the goddamn door. Hey.
Mr. Carson, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you.
Holy shit, man! There he is. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Come on. You're dead! You're dead!
it's brutal. It's pure violence, isn't it?
It's what you expect from the Punisher.
Yeah, and and I think they nailed that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Down to a T. I mean, the scene where he goes into the pawn shop and gets the police radio off the guy, and as he's leaving, he's there with the police radio in hand, just paid for it. Like, honestly, has just paid for it. Coffee in the other hand, and the guy's like, I've got some kiddie porn out the back if you want to see it.
As you do.
Yeah, and that's it then. He kind of like looks over his shoulder, puts his coffee down, locks the door, and that's the end of that man's life.
No, I mean, I must admit, I do like this version of the Punisher. I think Thomas Jane.
We won't go there.
His was good. Very,
Yeah.
I can watch that film over and over again, but this is probably the best Punisher depiction I've seen, other than in the Marvel animated world.
Yeah.
But wow.
I think as well, with it being on Netflix, they've been allowed to do a little bit more with it.
Yeah.
And they've been allowed to express the violent nature of the Punisher. And and I think had they not been allowed to do that, it wouldn't have worked. There would have been no point to his character even being in it.
And they showed his origin slightly as well, didn't they, with the death of his again spoilers, death of his wife and son. But they went for a playground setting this time, didn't they? Whereas I think the comics are actually true to the film. I believe they were run down, but
not
100%, I'm afraid.
But he plays the part where Elektra is really good as well. Far cry from the Jennifer Gardner.
With her sandbags and Evanescence playing in the background.
Very early 2000s teen.
Yeah. I still do enjoy that film though.
What, the Elektra film or the Daredevil?
I haven't seen the Elektra one.
It's
the Daredevil
awful.
one. No, missed that completely.
Yeah. Daredevil's alright. Ben Affleck, it's alright.
One thing we nearly forgot to mention, obviously, is Claire Temple. She's a nurse.
The night nurse.
Yeah, she appears first off in the first season of Daredevil, but
it becomes obviously a regular occurrence throughout all of them, and I assume is going to be the one to bring them together.
Her and.
Is it Hogarth?
Yeah.
Because isn't Hogarth meant to be? For those of you who don't know, Hogarth is she a lawyer?
Yeah.
She's a lawyer. She's
Jessica
working
Jones.
For.
You see her first in Jessica Jones.
Yeah, and she's almost working for the rival law firm, isn't she? But yeah, I think she's going to be almost the instigator for the Defenders or something, isn't she?
Yeah, I think
From
she's
what I've read.
the Defenders equivalent of Luke Cage.
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, coming back to Daredevil there, just briefly, the season 2 really amped up what season 1 did.
Yeah. But obviously you need to watch season 1 to be able to understand season 2. Unfortunately, you can't just skip that.
No. Just briefly, while we're on Daredevil, just talking about Kingpin, I loved how they didn't put him across as just a mindless thug.
Yeah.
He had a soul, if you will, because obviously he falls in love with that woman and stuff, and they almost got across the human side for him, which I quite liked. It wasn't, you almost like empathised with him, as opposed to thinking, oh, you're just a villain.
It's a very similar
comeuppance at the end,
Very similar character to the one that they portrayed in the animated Spider-Man, wasn't it? That kind of Kingpin. I thought it was brilliant. And the fact that he gets his hands dirty as well.
Absolutely.
You've got to love a boss that gets involved.
Leads by example.
Exactly. Doesn't lock himself away in a room till the end of the series.
Absolutely. Well, moving on then, I guess, to their
Jessica Jones.
Second character that they do is Jessica Jones.
This has been my favourite one so far.
I love Jessica Jones. I thought it was excellent.
David Tennant was absolutely incredible.
Jessica Jones, she's a PI, has abilities.
Human abilities.
Yeah, super strength. And has she got anything else? Is it speed or anything like that? Or is she just really strong? Because I don't think she could fly, could she?
I think she can in the comics.
Yeah, I think in this they just said that she could jump like really high.
Yeah, so that may be something that they'll unlock later on.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a PI who's got
an alcoholic
powers,
PI.
An alcoholic PI who's got powers from somewhere, who's got a darkened past.
Which you later find out she's been living with Kilgrave, played by David Tennant, who is also an Inhuman, and he's been able to control and manipulate Jessica for
he
number of
basically
years.
says whatever he tells you to do, you're almost compelled
you
to
just
do
it. I just David Tennant. I have no doubt that he was just being himself in this role.
Absolutely,
but what an amazing job he did. He was the only reason I think that we kept going, or I kept going personally with Jessica Jones.
Yeah. I mean, what I really liked as well, because you don't really see him for a few episodes, do you?
It's hinted at, isn't
You've got to get it takes a little while into the series before you actually see him. And I think because he's this mysterious villain who's clearly besotted with Jessica, you know, I mean, there's a scene in the film where he buys her old childhood home and decorates it exactly how it was when she was a child.
Creep alert!
And he's just besotted with her. He just wants her by his side. And really, it's not for any other reason, is it? He is literally, like I said, infatuated with this woman.
Yeah, this whole killing spree that he goes on. All for her.
During Jessica Jones as well, we're introduced to Luke Cage.
As a love interest.
Love interest, which is in the comics. They have children and stuff in the comics, don't they? So it was nice to get the introduction to Luke into that.
See Claire again.
Claire's in it, and then obviously we have the introduction to Hogard, played by Carrie-Anne Moss. Trinity. Who plays the part really well. Gets a bit sliced and diced in it throughout part of it, but survives nonetheless. But yeah, I think the shining star in that series was David Tennant as Kilgrave, or the Purple Man as he's known in the comic.
Jessica's front door. I think that deserves a special mention for the amount of times that thing got broken in this series.
Joe, I really like the introduction to a lot of the other characters, because whilst watching it, like, you look up characters, don't you, to see if they're part of the universe or whether they've just been made up for the show. And you had her best friend, I forget her name, but she's a character in the comics and becomes a hero.
Yeah.
And the cop who plays her boyfriend, is a character called Nuke. Later on, and he takes the pills and it makes him like strong, like massive adrenaline rush and stuff. He's actually featured in the Death of Wolverine comics.
Okay.
Just very briefly, that's where I actually recognised him from. Or the character. But yeah, Jessica Jones so far for me has been probably the best one of the of the four.
I absolutely agree.
Five series that they've done. 4 characters.
Well, in the intros to the show as well, the actual title sequences, they're glorious. The Daredevil with the blood running down, and
the statues.
Jessica Jones obviously had kind of, was it almost hipster, wasn't it? Very colourful, very, and then Luke Cage, very just blues, very.
It was golds, wasn't it? Golds and browns, and it was like
blues music.
Oh, blues music, and panning around what you can only assume is Luke's body. And then Iron Fist was the
just him
silhouette, doing all the kung fu moves, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And very good title sequences, and well scored as well for the music.
I think one thing I like about these being on Netflix as well is if one episode's an hour and 12 minutes long, they don't mind. It's an hour and you watch an hour and a 12-minute long episode. You know, and you miss that sometimes, especially with the CW. There's so much cut and edited, and you know, obviously you've got your adverts in between as well.
It's literally, this is how long it is. This is the length of the episode. That's how long it's going to be. We're not going to edit it down. But so far, you know, up until the point of Jessica Jones, it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it, barring Daredevil season 1, which was a little bit hit and miss.
I disagree, but there we go. Right,
Lovely.
Which leads us nicely on to Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
I struggled with this, if I'm honest.
Luke Cage. Now, when this came out, before I watched it, I read reviews, and all the reviews I read said it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It said it was a really good show.
And they lied.
And I was really looking forward to it. Really, really looking forward to this one. Certainly as we had his introduction into Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He disappears at the end of Jessica Jones because they have a falling out. He goes off to do his own thing, which obviously then leads us into the Luke Cage series. Basically, Luke Cage, he's a former con who's...
He was set up.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he's still a convict as far as the law's concerned, in it, isn't he?
Got a huge throw.
He's got a huge throw. He's gained power. He's basically the indestructible man. Like, nothing can penetrate his skin. He's super strong, and he's hiding out in Harlem.
Yeah, behind the bar.
In Pop's hairdressers
and
the bar at the club, isn't he?
Yeah, what's the bad guy called again?
Cottonmouth.
I really liked him.
I did.
He was the best thing of the series, only because he is also in House of Cards, the other Netflix Kevin Spacey series, and he is really, really good in that. In fact, I think he's in a couple of films that are coming out soon as well.
He's in that. Is it Moonlight? The
and
one that had the
Games.
controversy over the Oscar.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
He was in Hunger Games as well. But he was the thing that kept me watching.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it,
Do you know what kept me watching?
Really
what kept me watching this series?
Big black guy in a t-shirt.
No, it wasn't that. Normally it would have been. The thing that kept me watching was that I knew it was linked to Defenders.
Yeah, so you had to.
And I thought, do you know what? If I don't watch this, I'm probably not going to have the full benefit when I come to watch the Defenders series, and that's what kept me there. I didn't enjoy the series at all. There were a few episodes I liked. Mm-hmm. The prison scenes, like his origin,
up until
I
Pops
really
died.
enjoyed it.
The show went in a completely different direction after Pops died. Spoiler. I
like the prison scenes where it's his origin. You see how he gains his powers, etc. I enjoyed those, and I enjoyed the last episode when he has his fight with Diamondback.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Really good, yeah.
But the rest of it, didn't like the woman who played Cottonmouth's cousin, who ends up killing Cottonmouth.
She was something to do with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
But she is in Age of Ultron.
Yes.
But as a different character.
She's the one that hands the photo to
Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know what? I think Marvel really, really missed a trick.
Yep.
I really do.
Or did they?
No, they did. They did. Because, obviously, not in... I said Age of Ultron, didn't I? Civil War. She's in Civil War.
Yes, she is.
Not referring to the events of Age of Ultron. She hands Tony the photo and basically says, you know, it's because of you and the Avengers that my son has been killed.
Yeah.
And all the other people have been killed. Now, in Luke Cage, is she mayor?
Yeah.
Something political,
like
isn't
that,
it?
Yeah.
She's petitioning against the heroes in it. And I thought, do you know what?
They could have carried that through.
They could have carried that through from Civil War, used her as the same character, and then it would have it would have tied everything together. It would have tied the films into the shows a bit more.
We don't know that they're not going to do that, and it's just a little plot hole that they've...
I think they've overlooked it, personally. I don't think they're going to come back to it and retcon it. They're definitely not.
We'll see. But, I mean, you were right. She was really, really weak. And at some points... it wasn't until she went, like, nuts at the end. That's when she seemed to get, like...
Do you know what really annoyed me in it as well? Shades. It was just like, for every scene, you're just like, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry for potty mouth in there. But it's just like, you see him come on and he's trying to like manipulate everything. And you're like, oh man. Yeah. So just go away.
Yeah, I agree.
Go away.
I could have quite happily have given up watching. It's probably the next episode after Pops died. But my beautiful wife told me that we need to pursue.
I like Michael Coulter as well as Luke.
Is he actually from That's So Raven?
I don't know. I saw something about that.
I did as well. I must research.
He voices characters in the Halo franchise.
He does indeed, but
Apparently.
you'll be very surprised at the amount of characters or actors that are actually voicing a lot of anime stuff
Video
now.
games
As well.
and
Yeah,
stuff. I mean, Nathan Fillion does a lot as well, doesn't he?
Nathan Fillion. Something's come up this week about him, and it's completely gone from my mind. I haven't seen it yet, but he's in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, isn't he?
I've seen it, but I don't recall seeing him.
Then this story might be a complete load of rubbish, and in which case...
And in fact, I think I may have seen what you're referring to, and I didn't read the article.
Not that comicbook.com is full of fake news, but I do read it 3 or 4 times just to make sure.
I do recall seeing something about Nathan Fillion being in it.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, next episode.
Yeah.
We'll confirm.
So obviously we see Claire again.
She
is
becoming a lot more cocky, and is like, do you know what? I'm some sort of superhero manager.
Yeah.
Now.
I'm clearly your fitness instructor, guys. But Luke Cage nearly dies, doesn't he? And she goes and finds the doctor that turned him that way, and they did some god awful acid bath.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And that was a really, really awkward scene to watch. Maybe because the acting was so poor, I'm not sure, but yeah.
I mean, and obviously her and Luke have this chemistry all the way through it, and eventually at the end, just as he's being carted off to prison, they have their moment and kiss and whatnot, and that's it.
And that wraps up season 1.
Which
leads us on nicely to my second favourite. There's nothing written down.
Oh, I was referring to our script, and the script is just out the window. So Iron Fist.
Notes. But this is not scripted.
Scripted, no, sorry, notes, yeah.
Iron Fist.
Yeah, the 4th character for Netflix to bring into the...
What a TV series as well.
It was great. I don't understand.
Ward is my favourite thing about that programme.
Well, first off, this show received a lot of flack, didn't it? And it said, they didn't like the characters.
No.
They didn't like Danny.
No. I can kind of understand why. Understand why. The first couple of episodes, the actor seemed really awkward in portraying the character. But I mean, anything you do like that, it's going to take you a good couple of episodes to
sink your teeth into it, isn't it? And I think that was good as well, because he's just come back. He's been away living with the monks for however many years. He's just come back to society. You are going to be awkward, aren't you? You're not going to know what the world's like anymore, are you? I guess. But yeah, I liked him as Danny. Ward was just
amazing.
When he first comes on scene and you first see him, I was just like, I hate this man. I hate this character. And it wasn't because I hated the acting. It was almost like he was playing the character so well, you hated him.
Almost like a Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah, and he was really good. And then obviously as the series goes on, he questions everything, and but he's still being the bad guy.
Yeah, and he's tearing himself apart, isn't he? His character goes through so much in the first season alone. It's unbelievable how he didn't. But then at the end,
he completely redeems himself.
And I don't think we should spoil too much because it's still very new on Netflix. But
no, we've stated the spoilers.
I think that gives us a free pass.
Exactly.
Okay, so he kills his dad at the end for the second time.
Yeah, well, let's get there. Let's get there as we talk. So Danny has been involved in this horrific plane crash at the beginning, or prior to the series as a child, a 10-year-old boy, is he 15-year-old boy, something like that. Plane crashes. His parents die. He wakes up on a mountainside and is found by 2 monks, isn't he?
Yeah.
And they take him back to Kunlun, which is where he grows up then, and they teach him how martial arts and teach him the ways of their monk. The monkhood.
The way of their monk.
The way of their monk. And then he obviously becomes the Iron Fist, which is their protector and their guardian, isn't it?
He protects the way to
Kunlun.
To Kunlun.
And then it gets revealed later on in the series he's been a a successor in a line of Iron Fists,
Mm-hmm.
isn't he? Because we see one of the original Iron Fists in one of the...
Yeah, it's like a news clip, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And so he leaves Kung Lung and comes back to New York to basically...
Where he's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, he's basically the heir to this multi-million-dollar company, who his... They're not relations of him, are they, Ward and Joy? No, they're...
Ward and Joy's dad was the business partner with Danny's dad.
Yeah. And obviously now they own the company, or have taken charge of the company, because Danny's family are supposedly dead.
Yeah.
So it goes on, and a lot of it's to do with him trying to get the company back, isn't it?
Yeah, you find out halfway through that one of the sideline villains from, I say sideline, one of the other villains from season 1 of Daredevil, the Hand, are actually back in New York, and it subsequently turns out that they're actually running.
So we see Madame Gao, who's one of the top dogs in the Hand. Really, we see her throughout Daredevil because she's affiliated with the Kingpin, and then obviously we see her in this in Iron Fist as the main antagonist for the most part. And obviously the Iron Fist's sworn duty is to defeat the Hand, isn't it?
Destroy the Hand.
Excuse me. So we've got like him trying to regain his company, and Ward and his sister Joy trying to retain the company and basically saying, you know, you're nothing to do with it, Danny, you're an imposter.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Ward and Joy's dad is meant to be dead, and then we find out he's not.
Nobody in the Marvel universe dies.
No, he's hidden in some penthouse
at the top of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, and again is affiliated with the Hand, and it's almost like the Hand have got their hands
in everything,
their fingers in all the pies, kind of thing, you know. And they're just about everywhere in New York. And obviously the series goes on.
It's brutal again, isn't it? Lots of ridiculous killings and
some of the fight scenes. I mean, one of the ones I really liked was when he goes and does that it's not a tournament, but that trial to rescue some girl.
Yeah.
And he goes to one of the Hand's headquarters and he has to do those several fights.
Yeah, it's very clever.
And the first one where he fights the two guys, that was really good. It was really well choreographed and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really, really good. And then he fights the third fellow who's got all the weapons and the swords and stuff. But the best one is when they go to Hong Kong and he fights like the drunken master.
Oh yeah, but he's asleep at the door.
Yeah, and he's just like completely like...
Didn't spill a drop of beer.
No, he didn't. And he's there like, you know, swaying around, and he's got his bottle in his hand, and it was great. It's such a good fight scene. Really, really cool.
Claire ruined this series for me.
Yes,
because,
I 100%
again, her
agree.
character got more and more cocky, and the scene that you're talking about when she's waiting outside in the car, isn't she, waiting to evacuate them if necessary. It's just, I don't know. You're a doctor.
Yeah, she's a nurse, and
you can imagine Leonard McCoy, can't you? I'm a doctor, Jim. Damn it, not a ninja. Why can't you just stay in that role?
Yeah, it's. I find Claire quite trying.
There's clearly a need for her somewhere along the line, and I'm sure we'll get to it.
Yeah, you know,
Defenders, but I know what you mean.
I just felt in this series character was too prominent in it.
Yeah.
I like Colleen. What did you think of her character?
I think she's amazing.
I really liked it.
I think she's beautiful.
She is beautiful.
I announced to Hayley that she is an official crush of mine now.
But
she's also in The Great Wall.
Game of Thrones as well.
With Matt Damon. Yeah.
Game of Thrones as well. But her revelation of being a member of the Hand
and not realising that. Yeah.
Was
a bit silly.
Yeah, but at the same time I was a bit like, what?
Was it a bit more dramatic than that?
Yeah. I was like, yeah. But you know, the series goes on. He fights the Hand. Blah blah blah. His hands glow orange.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you think he actually holds a really bright light bulb at some point?
Maybe he probably hurts himself if he does that though.
I know.
Should we try it now? Should we get one of those? No.
Health and safety!
There's no such thing in the dad cave.
No. Speaking of which, we're back in the Alpha site.
We are indeed. Did you not realise that? Obviously not.
No. It's like some sort of paradox.
I think the main point we're trying to get across is that if you haven't already seen these great pieces of television, you need to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
August.
skim over Luke Cage. Maybe
They
just
don't
have it
need
on
to
in the
watch it, do
background
they?
while you're decorating your living room or something.
They don't need to watch Luke Cage, I don't think. Nothing.
No, it's not really linked, is it?
No.
It's only the character.
You get enough of him from Jessica Jones, I think, to know who he
So
is.
how would you rate these shows? Starting with Daredevil, out of 5.
Okay.
5 being the best, 1 being the
What are we
worst.
doing by season?
Yeah, so season 1 of Daredevil, what would you rate it?
4 out of 5.
Season 2,
5 out of 5.
Jessica Jones,
4.
Luke Cage,
2.
Iron Fist.
4.
Yeah, I'd probably agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, and Defenders, it's looking wonderful. I can't wait to see Sigourney Weaver as the villain.
It's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah. I did like the scene in that trailer where she stands up from the table and she stands at the head of the table and everyone else around her gets up and obviously goes into like beat down mode.
It's just a glorious time to be a geek.
The market's getting quite saturated though by comic book films, and I'm hoping it doesn't get annoying.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. We unfortunately don't have enough time to go into that, but
Perhaps we can have like a dad chat.
it's Disney's fault.
Yeah.
Disney got hold of Star Wars, got hold of Marvel, because they know that anything affiliated with Star Wars, with Marvel, if this, you know, this isn't a Marvel t-shirt, but if I bought this t-shirt, Disney would end up getting 20p of it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why they've done it.
And they're pumping out as many films and whatnots as they can, series as they can. Is the Netflix Marvel stuff, what we just talked about, affiliated with Disney? Is it still owned by them, or is it a separate entity? Do you know?
No, it'd have to be. Marvel is owned.
It's owned by solely by Disney, is it? Yeah. It's a shame. Well, it's not a shame because they've made some good films, but I do wonder if they're pumping out too many.
They're going to kill themselves.
Yeah.
They're going to do too much, and
it'd be interesting to see what happens after Infinity War.
well, I've heard that that's going to be the end of the Marvel universe as we know it.
Right.
So whether or not they'll go with like a Lady Thor or a Lady Iron Man after that, I don't know. But
we'll talk about that on another episode. I think
we've got.
Perhaps we could do another special.
We've got plenty of time. We could even do a Phase 1 and Phase 2 special. But
Phase 1, Phase 2 special. There we go, guys.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you
soon for episode 5.